G'day, today I'm going to show you the 4 different classes available on board my Qantas A380 flight from Sydney to LA. Let's look at the cabin layout. You have first class on the lower level with 341 economy seats behind, and upstairs you have business and premium at the back. If you're travelling economy, you'll be checking in at one of these machines and your luggage will be put through here. Now if you're travelling premium economy or business, this is where you check in, and if you're first class, this is where you check in. And then it's off through security. First and business got their own separate line through security, but everybody just goes through the machines for immigration. Now I've got to tell you, it's amazingly quick. Tops a minute. After a 100-metre walk through an array of duty-free stores, first and business class passengers will probably head up to the respective lounges. The first lounge is impressive. Gorgeous decor, quiet atmosphere with a kitchen cooking meals to order. Business class passengers have their own separate lounge, which is, well, it's not a patch on first, obviously. To be fair, they are doing some work to enhance it. So maybe in 6 months' time, when that's all finished, it'll be a much prettier option for dining pre-flight. Food-wise, yes, there are a handful of options, but nothing cooked individually like in first, and obviously the wines are nowhere near as impressive. And unfortunately there are no lounges for economy or premium passengers unless you're a Qantas frequent flyer member. Hey guys, we're safely on board. I'm in seat 2A and we've just pushed back from the gate and we're about to head out to our runway for takeoff. And lucky for me, this flight's not full in premium or economy, so I'll take you back there shortly. I've come back to row 88, I'm in seat G, and this is economy. Would I like to sit in here for 13 hours? No thanks, it's squashy for me. Great for kids. And if you are in row 88, look at this for the recline. 6 inches, that's it. And the actual seat moves forward a little bit as well. What are the features of this seat? Well, the armrest goes up. It's pretty uncomfortable in the up position, so that's probably going to stay down. You do get a pair of headphones, but they are very cheap, and if you lose yours, there's plenty in a little rack behind here where you can head up there and get soft drinks whenever you want. Yes, there's a tray table for your meal and a screen which is much smaller than premium economy, obviously. Is there a footrest? No footrest, but you do get a pillow and a blanket. What's legroom like? Well, if I sit like this, I don't touch the seat in front, but if I put my legs out, my shins now contact the seat in front. I've nipped back here to row 32. I'm sitting in the middle seat. Back here it's 232 in premium, and I tell you, this is a very nice seat. I did not expect premium to be this good. Let's test the recline. That's bloody good. A footrest, obviously a table that folds out so you can eat your meals and do some work. A little glove box here. There are 2 USB charging points and in-seat power. The seat back screen is a good size, also tilts, which is handy. And on the seat when you arrive, you'll find a pair of headphones, a blanket and an amenities kit. Next up, business class, and there are 2 cabins. The front section with rows 11 to 15 and then 16 to 28 in the larger section. Yes, it's 1-2-1. Yes, they're lie flat seats, and they're a marked improvement over the old design, which was lie flat but on an angle, and they were terrible to sleep on. Now, business was full, so I couldn't get access to a seat, but I flew virtually the same seat to Singapore recently, and the only real difference was the colour of the suites. On the A380, it's a slightly darker tone. Now, the seat in lie flat mode is okay, but if you're over 6 foot, what's that, 182 centimetres, you'll touch the end. And for my money, it's a hard bed if you compare it to the likes of Qatar, Emirates and Cathay. I think you get better sleeping comfort with the business class suites on those airlines. Now, let me show you Qantas's first class product. 14 seats on the lower deck at the front of the plane. Now guys, there are 2 remote controls in this suite. One controls the entertainment system and the other the seating, lighting, privacy divider and the shades. They're quite dated, as is this cabin, but hang on, because next year in 2026, Qantas introduces a brand new first class cabin that looks absolutely stunning. I'll be very keen to fly that. What about staffing levels? First class, 14 passengers and 3 crew. That's about 5 passengers per crew member. For the 70 business class customers, there's 7 crews. That's 10 customers to 1, 15 customers to 1 in premium economy, and 43 customers to every 1 staff member in economy. While I've pointed out a number of differences in product offerings between these 4 classes, there is one thing that remains constant across every class of travel, and that is the in-flight entertainment. doesn't matter whether you're in economy or first class, you get the same choices. And it's extensive, and of course in lots of different languages. Here are the 4 different amenities kits on offer. Starts off with the mini one for economy, this for premium economy, business and first class. Unfortunately, no fragrances in any of them, unlike Emirates, Qatar and Singapore. Now, food on board an aircraft is so important, so let's start with an economy meal. This is the vegan option. This is the premium economy meal. In business class, you'd expect something like this. And for first class, let me go into more detail. Now, I'm having dinner for breakfast and I've chosen the steak. I often say never order steak on a plane because it's almost always well done and I'd like it medium, but let's have a look at this. Oh, look, there's a bit of pink in this one. This could be my saviour steak. Well, that is a lot better than I expected. Well, that was a delightful meal. The steak I gave 8 out of 10, and then I finished it off with some ice cream and some fruit. And the crews just told me that Qantas is looking at a degustation menu in the future and enhancing their food offering in first class. And if you're feeling peckish throughout the flight, you'll be happy to know that there are snacks available in all 4 cabins. Let's talk drinks, and there are plenty of options in every class. Qantas partners with Coke, so you get their suite of soft drinks in all classes, plus tea, coffee, and even hot chocolate. Let's talk wines now, and in economy you'll have a choice of these, and this is the only class when wine is by the small bottle. Premium economy sees the range bumped up, and instead of champagne you'll be offered this sparkling wine. Now, I'd like to show you the business class wines, but I didn't get a chance. But the champagne will be Duval Leroy Brut, Jacquard Brut Mosaic, or Lombard Extra Brut, and in first you'll be quaffing on Pommery champagne, plus any or all of these fine wines, all of which are from Australia. Beers, they're all Australian except for the Heineken 0.0, and a couple of extras are added for first class. Onto spirits now. Here's what you'll find on offer in economy, premium and business class. But for first class, the Absolute is swapped out for Grey Goose, Applewood Gin's added, Jack Daniel's swapped for Woodford Reserve, Shivers swapped for Johnny Walker Green Label, and Lark Classic Tasmanian is added. But if you're in first and you wanted anything from the business class menu, I'm sure they'd grab it for you. And after dinner, if you want a Bailey's or an H by Hine cognac, you'll be looked after across the board. And in first class, they add the Hine Rare and 2 other digestives. I've come upstairs to the lounge area, which is above first class. There's probably seating for 12, 14 people up here. Hardly anyone ever comes up here. It's quite lovely. And if you're wondering about Wi-Fi, unfortunately, it's only available in Australia. Once you get outside Australia, nothing on offer. And the other day, coming back from Singapore, they retrofitted one of their aircraft and it had Wi-Fi the whole journey. And it was such a joy. And it was free. But I imagine at some point, this A380 will get Wi-Fi. With regards to service on the flight, I find Qantas to be very good. I think they've had their problems with management over the last few years, but hopefully they're sorting that out. But the crew today, smiley, happy, helpful. And who can use this lounge? Well, anyone in business or first is welcome to pop up here. And this is where Emirates has their big bathroom with a shower in it. Let's talk toilets. In economy, there are 6, 3 of them with baby change tables. Works out to 1 toilet for every 57 passengers. In premium economy, there are 2 toilets, both with baby change tables. That's 1 for every 30 passengers. There are 3 toilets for the 70 business class passengers. That's about 1 toilet for every 23 passengers. And in first class, we share 2 toilets, so that's 1 for every 7 people. And in the first class bathroom you do get razors, shaving cream and underarm deodorant. Well guys, my very comfortable seat has now been turned into a very comfortable bed. In both business and first, when it comes time to turn your seat into a bed, one of the crew will gladly do that for you, and it takes a couple of minutes tops. If you're travelling first, you get a pair of Martin Grant pyjamas in this little carry bag. If you're flying business, you too get pyjamas. They're grey with the flying kangaroo on the front, but there are no pyjamas for those flying premium or economy. So now all that remains is for me to go and put on some more comfortable sleeping attire. And if you like memory foam pillows, they have them on board. Anyway, I'm going to go for a snooze. Cheers. This Sydney-LA flight is one of the longest flights in the world, but there are only 4 airlines offering this direct flight: Delta, American, United and Qantas. And with such little competition, there are no bargains if you want to fly direct. Before I tell you what I'm paying, let me show you what you would find if you search this route on Saturday, October 11 for a one-way flight on December 12, which is not peak and it's not off-peak, it's somewhere in the middle. Economy from $1,050 to $1,200 US. Premium economy $2,450 to $4,200. Business Business 5200 to 5600, and First, which is only offered on Qantas and American, $11,400 or $12,460. I paid about 240,000 Qantas points and $500 cash. So what's the maximum revenue Qantas would get for that December 12 flight if everyone was paying the one-way price? $174,000 from first class, $394,500 from business, $159,000 from premium economy, and $362,200 from economy. The total, $1,090,000 US. Of course, this is just a guide because prices will vary greatly depending on when you book, but this gives you an idea of the revenue from a single flight. Well, I got to say that was a great flight, and I think I was most impressed with premium economy. I could do that in a daytime flight, no problem at all. Be very comfortable. Now, before I go, could you please hit the like button? And for those unsubscribed, let's hit this one as well. And for a whole lot of extra content and merchandise and stuff, check these out. Thanks for watching.
And stay passionate.
Oh, no more chocolate. Thank you, though.